All right, everybody. Who has an image that they're confident is awesome? Is better than the competition? Who came up with a product that's better? Improvements, the feedback, the research, and then the content of the image, and you're happy with it. Like you're blown away. Like who's happy with what they've designed? Or at least was surprised at how good it is. Definitely surprised. Pretty good. All right, let's see here. We get to go do some market testing. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, here's a special gift to everybody and that took the class that is here. You are all gonna go to pickfu.com, P-I-C-K-F-U, and I've got a code to give you $100 in credit towards a couple pulls. So basically, if you paid $100 for this class, you are gonna get $100 back right now in PickFu credits. Here's the code. You only get to use this once. I just pasted the code into here. So there's the code. Go to pickfu.com. You can sign up with Google. If you don't have it, you can use this code when you sign up, and you're gonna get $100 in credits. If you already have PickFu, you can, I believe, use this code when you go to checkout. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna check out what we're gonna do. When you go there, you can do a template poll of a product variant test, and you can, do less people if you want. They have one that's for 50. You can lower it to 30. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. Let's go ahead and, so here's the process. We're gonna go grab those main images. We're gonna save the image that you created. Give me 1 second, sorry guys. Okay, I'm gonna test the dinosaur and I'm gonna save it. And then I'm going to go into PickFu. And now here's what we're gonna do. With PickFu, we can ask real people which one they would rather have. And so we're gonna use a competitor and we're gonna use 3. Oh, this didn't save properly. 1 second, sorry. XML file, what is that? Huh, never run into this issue. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna do all 4. And we don't have these extra elements, we have these others, but it'd be interesting to see how we do against these guys too. So we got 50 people. You could do like 30 just as a quick search, 25 or 30, right? Save some money. So if you lower it, it's gonna lower the cost so you can make your credit go further, right? So you save a little bit of money. It's not a full sample size. Before you actually move forward to production, I recommend you spend the money to do a bigger poll, right? And if you have multiple types of designs, you can use some of the credit to just test your design first. But based on the design, which product would you be most likely to buy and why? Now you get 30 people and you get a trait. So you can have a target trait. So we want parents, right? So family, and we want like 4 and 5 year olds, 0 and 3 year olds, and 6 to 11 year olds. And then, that gives us or, right? And then we can hit checkout. What's great is like you can pull in any marketplace as well. So we can actually pick people and you can start running the poll. So we're going to revisit that poll in a minute, but I want all of you guys to use that credit. Go take your image that you're happy with. Go save your best competitor. You should have already saved them because we used them, and then go ahead and do it. You might put it in before you check out if you have a promo code. It asks if you have a promo code. Is anyone caught up on this or like have any issues? Okay. If I'm not winning the majority of the votes in the 30 or 50, then I don't need to spend more money, Steven. But like, let's say that I am very confident and I've got like, I'm crushing on the 30 and the 50, might spend the final money one more time with my main image that I'll do the sourcing, the samples. I will get a main image that's more closely related to what I'm actually going to sell. And then I might do like 50 or 100. But depends by how much you're winning and the responses you're getting. But you're going to get feedback from the people who vote, which is really helpful as well. All right. Now, that's going to take anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour for those people to respond. They start feeding it out right away. And since we're East Coast or in the United States and we're polling the United States, the people are awake and able to answer the questions right now. These are real people, and then they're going to answer the questions. And you can, as people are responding, you can see. Sometimes you can end a poll early, like if you're just getting crushed or like you want to make a change, so you can get back some of that credit as well. So if you started with the 50, and let's say 20 people have already answered and you've got very few of the votes and there's a couple clear winners and you're not one of them, end it early to save the credit and then come back in. Let's go back to our presentation. It's okay. All right, we got some cool prompts here. I'm going to walk you through some lifestyle images as well. Here we go. All right, this is what our best designer could do in 60 hours, right? So we're visualizing the product. We just did that. Now, Here's a collage of all the assets: main, secondary images, 8+ content, branding, and packaging. So this is a completed listing done in about 60 hours of work from one of our best designers, literally one that works for me, for my products, and helps us with our designs. So now the agencies are not going to go away. I think that's important, but they will change the way they work. This was a concept that Anthony had done with the binoculars, right? An American-owned company designed in Austin, Texas, right? So they came up with something along those lines, American-owned company, and they came up with a secondary design showing some people. I think that's, if you're an American-owned company, that's a big plus, right? Americans are really moving towards that. So this is another way that if you're an American-owned company, or if your company's based in America, you can put that language and you can do that. The clarity thing was one of the things that they wanted to fix. The zoom angle, remember those were the complaints. GPT is much more conversational, so survives every adventure, shockproof and water absorbent. So they wanted to make sure that it was sturdy. Remember, we saw that was one of the complaints. So here was an image. Here was another one. Survives every adventure. Here's a secondary one after it's cleaned up. So much better, but text shockproof should go under the left image. So they moved it over here, right? So it's not perfect. It should probably be divided, but you do get the dirt and the dust coming up, which I think is fantastic. So that was better. So this was another way to iterate. So adding context is key. So especially when attempting to create photorealistic children models. So I'm going to give you a reference image for a girl that we can use in the next photo. This is my niece, Rylene. Let's try an image. Now, he said it's his niece. It might not be, but the reality that you do that is so that you have permission. Midjourney, ChatGPT, they have issues with having children in there, but like if they think it's personal, they unlock it. You can negotiate with the GPTs to unlock abilities for them to create models. It's really crazy. So now you give some sufficient context. Okay, sounds good. For extra context, is a scene of the girl who is on a hike in the woods exploring and doing bird watching. She should be wearing a backpack and a hiking appropriate clothing. The age range of this girl should be between 7 and 9. The colors of the scene should be complementary to the brand colors, which are black and lime green. So you give a lot more context here. And then you've got applications, you've got packaging, you've got main image. This is a 5th variation of the main image. This is a set that has the compass. And then you've got Anatomy 1, V1, and then you've got USA V2, Anatomy V3, USA V3, right? So this is early versions, week 1. And then you've got advanced tools and techniques. So at the end of the day, like with just having, what we do is we have our design team actually create these folders so you can see the iterative process as they're working so that they can continuously put, and we can always go back and reference an image later. So have your team, if you're having someone else do this, or if you're doing this, because scrolling up in a same conversation is very difficult, you can save the images into a folder as you're doing it and then keep track. And then you would name those images different things, right?